My actual review score for though is 0 out of 10 because
Oh,
um yeah, you can't go lower than 0.5 out of 10 on How Long to Beat. And the reason for it is that there wasn't a single thing I liked about the game at all. Um, Firstly, the fact that it was short was not a factor for me because I played this for a total of 13 hours. I played it for 8 hours on console, of which the console port of this game is abysmal. It is god awful, like the worst thing I've ever seen. There is a difference between the console and the PC version, just in the fact that the settings which you can change, which makes it easier on with controller on PC. But the UI, the way the graphics were handled with the contrast of enemies, like all that stuff, like the sensitivity you couldn't really change like you can do on PC. Like it was insane how much of an easier time I was having on PC than I was on console. Um, but yeah, anyway, story not there. I think we can all agree, and the bits that are there are annoying. I thought that the enemy design by itself was meh, but the fact that I think one fatal issue, which I mean for me, like I'm comparing this to Neon White constantly. One fatal issue is that the enemies do not reset how the level resets every time you die. They can be in slightly different states depending on how they were left off in the previous level, and it's the same with different parts of the level. Not, some stuff in the levels are persistent, and some stuff in the levels are not persistent. Like the enemy starting locations are persistent, but the way they react, they're like states of engagement sometimes are persistent, which means that you could be doing like 3 lots of perfect pixel jumps which you've done 20 times, and then the enemy is in a slightly different place, or they are looking you already and ready to shoot you. There's problems with the AI would clock onto you before they've seen you. Sometimes they would track your movement behind walls, so they like just shoot you as soon as you come up from the other side of the wall if they've seen you on one side of the wall. I thought that the range of motion for the sword was I don't think done particularly well. It wasn't like a sort of like a sphere. So there were so many times where I'd like jump on an enemy, and because my crosshair was slightly above their head, when I was pretty much stood on top of their head, it wouldn't hit because it's like a realistic collision box for the way the sword swings. There was just nothing I could find which was redeemable. I never had one bit of fun. I thought the music was pretty shit, to be honest. I put on a playlist.
damn. Oh.
So it just made me hate Lewis the whole time.